Hi, welcome back to Kingdom Connectors, Missionary from the Desk. I'm really excited today to have Robert Fogarty on the show. Robert and I have worked together for almost 17 years. Been such a great journey. We've been through so much together. I'm excited to call him and blessed to call him friend. And also, he's done a tremendous job in his role here at Builders First Source. Robert's been very successful at what he's done. He's managed some really high talent sales reps, some of them as much as $80 million in annual revenue sales, and that's absolutely incredible.
Currently, I work with 16 full-time professional sales representatives, varying in degrees of sales from $300,000 or $400,000 a month to the $6 million a month range. It just depends. Each one is unique and special in the way that they go about their craft and take individual management performance styles for each.
Robert, obviously you've been extremely successful in your role at Builders First Source, and I've just really watched you grow over the last 17 years and just done an incredible job, and I'm so thankful for what you've done. But, you know, people want to know, what does it look like to be successful? Maybe what are some advice or tips that you could give some people in the audience to be successful? What are the keys to your success, if you will?
I think one of the things that's held me in good stead is management of the human capital and treating people the way that you want to be treated. You need to be very careful to surround yourself with people that make up for your lacking in certain areas, and you can have them work together as a team to capitalize on things that you're not great at. They can help you to propel along, and you can help them. Always be mindful that people coming behind you and working with you, for the most part, are more than capable of doing greater things, and keep those people in mind as you move forward through your career to help them get through their career.
No, I think that's a good point. I think people have their own collective strengths, and I think whenever we're truly successful as a group and a unit, the human capital piece he's talking about, I think when we all work together and we capitalize on those unique individual talents that we have, I think is really when you have something so special. And we have been so fortunate to really have a special group of people here that's been developed and still continuing to be developed over the last 17 years. I guess I want to kind of talk about maybe, you know, and this is something you and I talk about all the time, but I think it's important for everybody to understand. When we talk about, you know, our value systems, and I think you've seen that develop over the last several years and how we do things, but share maybe, if you don't mind, some of the core values that maybe that you think we display for people, and what does that look like for people? And I think we know that it's from a biblical point of view, but I think for a lot of people, they may not understand that. But maybe if you could add a little color to that.
Chris, that'd be my privilege too. I think that culture is a sum total of all of the values put into play and practiced and observed and done consistently on a daily basis. And truly, our culture within my business and your business that you've led us for so long on is the culture of doing the right thing, of understanding that people needed to be treated with respect, with humility, with grace. In fact, I've seen some scenarios within the last 17 years of you and I being together that could have went either way, but you've always treated them with grace, and you've allowed us to learn and grow from examples that have been taught. I remember early on we had a managers meeting, and Chris and I used to cook for the entire group as a way of serving our people. We've always treated ourselves as the least important people in the business. We've always treated the people that deliver the product or that build the product or that key tickets to put that product together and into play is far more important than we are. So we've showed humility, which has been genuine humility, and people pick up on that. But during a managers meeting at one point, we sent a young man who was over a department to go to Sam's and pick up all of this food and drinks and bring them all back. And Chris is very cost effective and very good with numbers. And we were all sitting in his office, and the young manager came back in with the receipt. Chris went through the receipt and said, "Did you forget to get the sodas?" And this was several hundred sodas. This is not a six-pack of soda we're talking about. And he said, "No, sir, but as I was leaving, I had noticed that the checkout lady at Walmart had not charged me for those." And Chris said, "Here's what I want you to do." And the whole room basically hung on these words. And He said, I want you to get in your car and I want you to go back there. I want you to find that checker and I want to make sure that she charges you for the products that we were given regardless of whether she made a mistake or not. And it set the tone for the entire room that there would be no tolerance for a lack of ethics or a lack of honesty or integrity. And this is the way that this business is going to be ran. And it really goes back to biblical principles now that my spiritual travel has moved further down the path.
We all really want the basic values that Christ and God has given us. And I think if you run your business that way, I think that example of Christ can be seen throughout your business. And Robert, you've done an excellent job of leading that example and letting that be seen. And the person he's talking about now, honestly, is one of our higher performing sales reps and does an incredible job for us. And we're so thankful for him. On Missionary From The Desk, I think a big part of what we're trying to kind of teach or show an example is that you can be successful and make a difference. That's kind of what we say. And we just talked about success and maybe what it looks like to kind of do that. But if you don't mind, tell maybe how you're making a difference now for the kingdom, or what are some things that maybe you're doing for the kingdom to make a difference?
I think that initially, early in my career, Chris, I looked at success and idealistic values, and I was very, very wrong about that. I looked at creating wealth, I looked at creating comfort, I looked at bigger and better houses and different things like that. These were all worldly possessions that were really not anything that I was ever going to be able to claim ownership on, because in fact, I have now come to the realization, and have over the last several years, that Jesus Christ owns anything and everything. It's just that I've been able to steward that, and I want to become a better steward and move forward through the process. We're so lucky as a family to be able to participate within our community. Being on the board of Kingdom Connectors is such an honor and a joy for my family. Financially, we feel the need to give to the ministry because we need the ministry to be able to perpetuate and carry on through donations of like-minded people like ourselves. We've been there a couple of times into the heart of Mexico with Chris and his lovely wife Alicia and his family, quite frankly, with Reagan, Haley, and Will. Mm-hmm. And we thought the mission trip was for us to go down and to see where we could help other people and spread the gospel into parts of the world that may never see it. Truthfully, the trip was really about us coming to a greater realization of our spirituality and how fortunate we are and how we should really treat and act to be the stewards we're all sent here to be. My wife is just recently embarking on the Waxahachie project, which is really exciting to us, where you can look at all 5 sectors of society coming together. Anybody who really wants to take the first step and move forward, it's a lot easier than you think, because I should be the poster child of not knowing how to take the first step. I had some people that loved and cared about me, helped me move forward, and at this point, I can't help but want to move further and further forward. To learn more about the Lord and to give the praise that is so duly deserved.
I tell you, I'm so excited to have Robert here today. And probably 12 to 14 years ago, our pastor out at Oak Street Church, he challenged us to write a name down on a sheet of paper and put it in our Bible and pray for it each day. And I prayed for his name. I wrote it down that day because he was so dear to me, and I was so thankful for him that I just wanted to make sure that he could experience eternity. And to see this come full circle is one of my greatest reasons to be on earth. And if it were for nothing else but to come to Builders First Source 17 years ago and to be able to sit here today and share with you what God is doing, then it was worth every year that I've been here. So thankful for you, Robert, and so thankful for you being on the show today. And again, please join us for episode 2. You're going to be so excited to see how God is continuing to transform his life, his family's life. You can't miss it. God bless you guys. Be successful. Make a difference. We love you.